Open Intelligence is our new data solution. You can think of it as the data layer that sits underneath WPP Open, which is the technology platform that our teams and agencies and clients use. It's what we call an AI data solution. So unlike traditional holding company data solutions, which are all about data centralization and tend to organize data only in one way, which is by IDs, cookies, email addresses, phone numbers. It's designed to use AI methods to bring together more data and find more patterns in it, even data that's differently structured.
Is it positioned as an augmentation to existing ID structures, or do you see this as the future of how brands get to know consumers?
I do see this as the future. I think if you look at the revolution that we're living through in AI, particularly generative AI, it's powered by this ability to understand patterns and relationships between data of totally different types. So look, ID data about people as people, still going to be part of the picture, still going to be valuable, but it's not the full picture, not for any business, and not in terms of how you think about where growth is going to come from. There's so much rich data out there now, and it sits in different places and it's organized in different ways. You know, for every piece of data that's organized by an ID, like a phone or an email, there's data that's organized by location, by store, by by keyword, by interest, and even what we call the unstructured data that sits in content, in images, videos, documents. What we want to be able to do is help advertisers use all of that, find patterns, understand insights, find where growth is going to come from, and go after it.
And does the advent of open intelligence maybe change the nature or open up the aperture, as people like to say, in the way that advertisers think about reaching the consumers? Is it looking at KPIs differently? How does this going to change that outlook?
I hope so. I think it lets us be more creative about how we think about audiences, how we understand what works, and how we go after growth. The types of information that you could attach to traditional ID solutions, ones that only work on an ID, ones that are centralized, is actually very, very limited. What we want to do is widen the aperture, encourage more creative thinking, help everybody see the full picture of who their consumers and audiences and growth opportunities are, so that you can think more creatively about what you do in advertising, in media, in customer experience, etc. So yes, I think it unlocks new ways of thinking and new ways of operating for our clients and for our brands.
Any advancement in any kind of intelligence often brings challenges, particularly when we're talking about data analytics and consumers. The issue is privacy. How do you deal with that?
Of course, look, it's the first thing we think about. It's foundational to how we've developed open intelligence. What we don't want to do is repeat the errors of the past of bringing together and centralizing data into these big central databases owned by companies that no consumer has ever heard of. The world's best data belongs in the world's best platforms. You shouldn't have to move it to be able to collaborate with it. You shouldn't have to give it away to anyone, not to your partners, not to intermediaries, not even to WPP. And so the way we're building open intelligence, particularly through the acquisition we made recently of InfoSum, which is a data collaboration platform, allows us to set up these data collaborations, find patterns in different types of data without centralizing the data. So the data lives where it lives. We can't see it, we don't access it, we extract the useful information from it, we find patterns, but it means that it's preserving what consumers expect and what businesses demand, which is the privacy, security, integrity of that rich and valuable data.
One of the frequent discussions I've had at Cannes this week has to do with the merging or the lowering of the walls between performance and branding. Does open intelligence help shift that balance?
I think it does, and I think it helps lower the walls, is a good way of putting it, between a lot of the different things that have traditionally been siloed disciplines in marketing. So not just branding and performance, but media, creative, production, customer experience. Because if we do this right, it's allowing everyone to look at a common view of the whole picture. And when you can do that, you can think more creatively, you can collaborate more effectively, and you create fewer gaps and drop-offs and inconsistencies in the experience that customers and consumers have of brands. And that's a good thing for the consumers, and it's a good thing for the brands as well.